I wrote this shit on the plane.
Hello, and welcome back. It's Tom. Tom, you were successful in your legal challenge. Back
Yes,
from
my visa
Egypt.
came through.
How does it feel?
Oh, it's so much colder here.
Yeah, new man, appreciating every day like you never have before by
Damn right.
reviewing music.
Yes.
And it's gonna be a light week this week, but it's gonna be a very, very heavy week next week. So it's all gonna balance out in the grand scheme of things.
Mm-hmm.
Because 4 projects have dropped this week or recently, but because of Tom's legal battles, we I didn't want to like give him too much to do because obviously he had to focus on that.
And I couldn't
So-
listen to anything in my cell either.
because Egypt doesn't have internet,
No,
and
this is all true.
yeah. So we're going to be reviewing Ventura. This is because Anderson.Paak was nice enough to send Tom a vinyl of it, which he then played.
It was only cassette.
Oh, sorry, to send a cassette over to Tom in Egypt for this.
Yeah, thank you, Andy.
He's a legend.
Best
And
teeth in the game.
Best teeth in the game. Okay, so we're going to be talking about Ventura, and then we're going to touch on these 3 singles: RST by Your Old Droog, featuring none other than MF Doom, among others, and then
Just Doom.
Okay, then Dysfunctional by Kaytranada and Inside by our boy Steve Lacey.
Friend of the
Okay.
show, Kaytranada.
Yes, both of them, and Steve Lacey and Anderson.Paak. We're just nice guys.
Oh
yes.
yeah, Anderson.Paak is. This is the
Yeah.
first artist that we've done a second review of.
Oh, yes, yes it is. Yes, and it's these albums dropped like very quickly in succession. I mean,
When he
It's not-
announced it, he said you had to wait 3 years between Malibu and Oxnard. I'm not going to do it to you again.
yeah, and I mean, this is a completely different sound, a completely different direction he's gone in, and he's brought it out so soon after. I mean, I don't think he did many tours after Oxnard because now he's doing the Best Teeth in the Game tour. So I guess that's kind of how it works out.
Have you
Well,
seen that
I mean-
lineup though? That's like a festival.
Yeah, man, it's pretty mad. And but yeah, this is it's a very funk focused album. It's a completely different direction. Oxnard, I mean, it was still funky. All this stuff is funky, but this is like particularly funky. And I honestly, I feel like the production is at its best it's ever been here. I think it's honestly like one of his best projects that he's put out.
I don't know.
Out
I
of-
think his production's always on point.
Yeah, but I feel it's slightly. Some of the tracks here, they're just on another level, man. Like, there's been so you can just tell the amount of work which has gone into some of these tracks. It's crazy, really crazy. And I mean, but there is one thing which we'll come on to later, where there is. When I said some of these tracks, I feel like there's been more work been put into than others. There does seem to be some kind of an inconsistency with the sound potentially, and then like the level of production. But I'll get into that later.
Okay.
Let's kick it off with, I think, best opening track of 2019, "Come Home," featuring Andre 3000. Like,
3 stacks.
what the frick is going on? Yeah, I've just started listening to Outcast as well. I've been listening to Aquemini.
Good album.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. And
But that's
honestly-
nothing to do with this.
no, it's nothing to do with this. Okay, so this is a like jaw-dropping intro in my opinion. The use of chorus, the keys, the like how thick and like deep the production is. The keys, especially like the piano, that riff it has is like really, really beautiful, man. And like this just has such heavy summery vibes to it. It's really, really good. It's one of the best tracks he's ever done, I'm gonna say. And like it's just amazing, man. It's obvious that a lot of work has been put into it, and it kind of sets the bar very high for the rest of the project. And Andre 3000's feature, he has this like mechanical, relentless flow. Like it just doesn't give up the whole way through, and he's going like really, really fast. I was kind of astounded by that. I really loved the melody throughout it, and yeah, man, it just really took me by surprise. I was not expecting this. As soon as I heard it, I had a smile on my face.
Yeah, it was a very nice number, but the beat kind of confused me with the piano and the crash. I just felt like it was gonna do a little more.
Hmm.
But I love the flute section
Oh yeah, I wasn't sure if it was panpipes or flute, but my god, that was really funny.
and the
Yeah.
bridge before Andre's verse.
Yep.
Very nice,
Hmm.
and he fitted the lyrical tone perfectly of trying to get someone to come home
Yeah, it's really, really good.
because no
And
one even begs anymore.
oh, it's a sad time we live in when no one begs. Well, no, it's kind of a good time actually. It kind of speaks to higher quality of life, I guess.
I
But
think he was more referring to the death of chivalry.
hmm. And it's a very romantic album. This I'm gonna say. There's a lot of lines about yeah, just I've got some vibes about like being pretty damn romantic on this, as
Well,
well as
what's most R&B about? Love, right?
yeah, yeah. And this is definitely like a funky R&B infused album. It really wears its heart on its sleeve. Um, yeah,
Perhaps none more so than Make It Better. The next
yes,
track.
which has these like
Produced by our friend the Alchemist.
yeah, another friend of the show. Like me and Alan, we go way back, man. Honestly, and but as you said, none other than this track, this has some beautiful romantic strings which just like swoon around. You know, it's very lovely, and it's a really nice kind of summery pop number, and it has a very sweet chorus, and it's yeah, it's like it's all about relationships. It's really nice. How we're gonna make it better.
On the rocks a little bit by the sound of things, but very
It can be
heartfelt
made
track.
better.
And it had some backing vocals from none other than Smokey Robinson.
Yeah. I mean, when I saw the feature list in this, I was like, "What the freak?" I had a like a similar mini heart attack as than I had when I saw the Solange albums feature list. It's pretty. Yes, it's packing a fair few big names in this.
Not nearly as many as Solange, though.
No, not nearly as many, but I was still surprised.
Okay.
Then we got Reaching Too Much. One track I don't like on this album is this one, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, I I like the start a lot. How it's straight up funk and
Yes.
it's tempo up. That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Although it's not as bombastic as Come Home is. And I mean, I really like the first bit before it transitions into that second more R&B oriented part. But the chorus when he's kind of rap singing like he does in I don't know like what it's called. I just think it reminds me really heavily of how he does the chorus on Glowed Up by Kaytranada. How he has that kind of almost lackadaisical flow where it's he's he's just like really confident when he does it, and I just love it when he does that. He was doing that really well, and then I mean in the second half when it does change, oh sorry, yeah, just about this flow, like he's raps in this melodic way wherein every single syllable is a different note, and it's very very cool. But yeah, the beat switch to a more like subdued, funky part. really didn't get me that much. I wanted it to go somewhere else, or I wanted it to stay where it was before. I just really felt it brought the tempo down, and I was wanting it to keep that more like upbeat sense to it.
Yeah, because the first bit was far superior and
Yeah,
also was a lot shorter for some reason.
yeah, yeah.
Usually,
It's like only a third of the track, or even
usually
less.
it's the other way around. You have the main bit for most of the time, and then it
Hmm.
switches for a little bit,
Yeah.
or sicko mode, which is its own little thing. Anyway, production from a frequent collaborator of Mac Miller, which I'm assuming is how this relationship happened. Pomo, or also a what's the word? I've forgotten it. Never mind. It very inspired by Kaytranada.
Yeah, yeah. I
And
got some heavy. Did Kaytranada help with the do production on some of the tracks on this?
no, it was I think it was this guy that made all the funkiest ones,
Right, because
and
there was
he
some.
made all of Mac Miller's funkiest songs as well.
Oh, okay. I was just getting some really heavy Kaytranada vibes on some of these tracks, man. Like super heavy. Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't really like the slowed down bit as much, but I
No.
wouldn't say it was my least favorite. Although I did like the nod to Erica Badu lyrically in the second half. I thought that was quite nice.
Hmm. Do you
But
remember the
the
lyric?
just the "I'll see you in the next life" that was a song that she did.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Um, and I didn't like the scatting either on this song.
I don't know. What
Do
scam?
it, do.
Oh.
You know, like you get in jazz sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
I don't know. It made me feel uncomfortable, but I've heard other people say they like it. So
Yeah, I think it's kind of endearing, but it does take away from the edge of the track a lot. But I think the next song is far better, Winner's Circle. I like the use of that, like the snippet from the movie. I don't know what movie it's from, but I appreciated how it sets up the point of it, like how kind of you're in the winner's circle because you found that girl who really makes you, who's that rare one, who you really click with. It's just this great new funk soul track. It's this really good rhythm. It has this it's playfully melodic, and it has yeah, the lyrics are like have this. They are they are kind of well, they have this like twinge of playful cynicism to them whilst being romantic, which I really liked. I thought it gave it some edge, and then the beat was like very very good, and it had this kind of spacey bridge, and Pac went really hard after the bridge as well. So it was really nice, and it transitioned beautifully into the next track. Really took me by surprise there. I noticed it on like my second listen.
hmm. I like the bass line and the backing vocals, but I did not like. I don't know what it was about his verse, whether it was just the dumb similes or what. I didn't like it at all.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. But I kind of liked how he was saying like, and now I'm gonna take you out for, oh, I've got to take you out for dinner now and buy you this and do that and do
Oh
that.
no, I
Fun of-
liked the whole thing of him painting a picture of him being a gentleman,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I think he did it better before, and it was a bit needless.
Okay, that's fair
Which
enough.
it was. I think needless is also a good description of the next song.
Heels. Well,
Good Heels. It was short. Well, I don't really understand what it was trying to say.
I'll give you that. But I thought musically it was really nice and it was transitioned really nice. It has the best transition on the whole album. But I don't understand why is it why put all the work in to have a really good like transition from Winner Circle to Good Heels, and then like that standard is not kept up for the rest of the tracks. Some of the tracks just like end, another one begins, and they're completely different sonically. I just think that's an oversight. I don't understand why you would do that unless you want them to be like two parts of the same song. You know what I mean?
Well, it might as well have been because it was so short anyway.
Yeah. I actually really like this though. I really like the kind of vulnerable jazzy guitar notes. I thought Jasmine Sullivan had this really good feature, like perfectly finding a place in the relaxed groove. I thought it was too short, to be honest. I really, really like this, but I know you didn't.
Yes. But I loved Yada Yada. Again,
Yeah,
Homo on production. Sounds like a Kaytranada type thing.
yeah, very heavy Kaytranada influence on this.
And this was the only song that he rapped all the verses.
Hmm. And he has some
And
impressive flow.
it's some great bars as well.
Hmm.
Seen through the eyes of Brenda's only son. Little TimTom reference there. So Brenda's got a baby. And he started it off with, and there it is, my wit's end.
Yeah.
And I think probably my favourite one. The labels tried to play me like I didn't do all the work.
Yeah, he can do some. Here's it like he can do some really good rapping, but and then I guess he's just versatile. He doesn't want to put himself into a corner. 'Cause, I mean, he's a good rapper. He can sing. He's a multi-instrumentalist, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
Or
a good
he's a
drummer
very
as
good
well.
drummer, like really good drummer.
This
Like,
is his first album where he had any production credits of himself. He did a few of the songs.
yeah, it's impressive, man. And yeah, I think it's from here like the sound of the album changes from this more funk oriented stuff to this more it's still funk, but it's more like modern synth funk, kind of more like Kaytranada, Thundercat, whereas before it felt kind of more old school.
Are you sure? Literally, the next song is
No,
just
I
like
know
that.
King James is like that, but then you have like Chosen One, Jet Black, Twilight, which are all like King James is a bit of an outlier in it, I think. But King James is really good. It is really good, and it works very well in the context of the album here. It follows on from Yada Yada, like musically, nice, and it still bangs, man. It's good.
Those trumpets, oh,
Yeah.
still so sweet and crispy.
Mhm. Yeah, there's nothing like some good horns or good brass, rather. Yeah. And then it's followed by Chosen One. Comes in hard with this very nice cascading bass, and it has this kind of bombastic beat. It's very spacey, has distorted vocals, well, not necessarily distorted, but they're tweaked. They're tweaks. This is one of the ones which feels like it had a lot of work that went into it. Like
Really?
I feel so, man. Like the EQ on the vocals and then on the synth, like that was edited so that it feels like it kind of literally flies by you. It goes from one ear into the other as it goes out. It's like it's passing by you. I thought that was really cool. A bit distracting, but really cool. And then it moves like really quickly into this beat switch, which has more groovy bars, and it has this very crisp beat, and it's very sonically dense. Like I think it's the most dense track of all of them, in my opinion.
Well, I'd like to counter that by saying that the first half of this song was complete garbage,
No.
but the second half was
Well, I guess
much nicer.
yeah.
Just the whole starting the every line with the "I need a little baby." It was just I didn't like it at all.
I wasn't. That's the thing. I wasn't really paying attention to like Anderson.Paak that much. I was more like just listening to the instrumental there. It really took me. There was a lot going on with it, and more so that I feel the others. Not in the amount of instruments, but just what they did to the instruments, what they did to the voices of the musicians. I thought, yeah, it just felt kind of different in that it had that more work put into it there.
Well, I thought this song was the most Anderson.Paak-y in that it was a bit of a roller coaster. So it started off, in my opinion, complete trash.
Okay.
Then the second half was quite good. Like the verse was funny. It had the MF Doom line. It was something along
Yeah.
the lines of the fans wishing you stay underground, so you're gonna blow up for MF Doom because I think he's the only popular artist that generally went out of his way to stay underground, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then that soulful outro was amazing. So, I mean, just a weird song, really. I don't really have
Yeah, I'll
anything
give you
else to
that.
say.
It's fair enough. What do you think about the
But
next one?
from your instrumental point of view, I wouldn't argue that it was good.
You wouldn't.
No, it was
Oh.
just it was more Pack that ruined the song for me than anything else.
Oh, okay. Okay. Then what do you think about Jet Black?
It's another great soul track.
There we go. That's good. That's good.
Nice bass line,
Mhm.
a hook from another legend that he's got on there in Brandy.
And then,
And Pomo produced it again. He's 3 for 3 with the funkiest tracks on the album. It's incredible.
yep. Yeah. It is very like it's more of a poppy track. I felt. Um.
Yeah, I was a bit unsure about it when I first heard it, but when I
Yeah.
listened to it again, it definitely grew on me a lot.
Yeah. I initially felt like it was kind of straying away from the core, but I guess my idea of what the core of the album was is just different to what it is. I was hoping it was going to be more of a like a full on funk album. I mean, is very funky, but it does have like Anderson.Paak's like high production, and it isn't gonna be like Parliament again. You know, I think I was going a bit insane. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
So it from what you've said, it does work in the thing. Yeah, it does work in the context of the album better
Although
than
it was probably the slowest and most low key of the
definitely.
songs.
Yeah. Oh, then it's followed up. Talking of a slow one, it's followed up by Twilight, which like really doesn't give you that much time to uh breathe compared to the last one. This feels like the most Anderson.Paak of all the tracks. It reminds me of like some of the tracks on Malibu, Twilight.
Hmm?
Yeah, it's this really nice, lovely, bouncy bass, this trap beat, which has this funk rhythm to it. I really love the hook and the horns. I take it back. Winter Circle is my favorite track. Twilight is. Twilight
Whoa.
is my friend now. Yeah, friendship with Winter Circle has ended.
I mean, I looked at the production credits, but then I was in my holding cell when listening to it, so I couldn't see which number it was. But I knew this was the Pharrell produced one the moment it came on because of just how bouncy it was
Yeah.
and how summery it was. The
Oh,
hook, as you say, amazing, and
I can hear it now.
I like the Pharrell vocals that he had on the second verse, just sort of replying to what Anderson said.
Yeah,
I just
it's
think
really
while
good,
the
man.
beat was summery, it really was such a contrast to every other song on this album. Because,
Yeah,
like you said, they were a lot more old school soul funky, and this was very modern.
yeah, definitely. It
Not that
reminds me
I
of like
didn't
the
like it.
bird
I
or
would like to
something.
stress that.
Yeah, no, I understand exactly what you mean. I did. This felt like a track more in line with Malibu than the rest of the tracks on this album, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But then there's the closer. What can we do? Which okay, I got like mixed feelings on this. I like it, but it does feel kind of cheesy, like the instrumental,
Yeah.
and then like what he's saying and stuff. It's nice. It's like a good cheese, but it feel like it's self-aware, but it is cheesy. But it kind of
I do agree to a degree.
yeah, it kind of ends in the same. Oh yeah, I I feel it ends in the same kind of vein as "Come Home" in this kind of soulful, optimistic, and like summary part. So I think it works, but it does feel a bit cheesy at the start.
Well, I think it was firstly a surprise. I mean, like you said, the track listing got you racing a little bit.
Mhm.
For me, this was the name that jumped out above all else. Because obviously Nate Dogg's been dead a good
Yeah,
7 years, I believe.
I
And
yeah.
this was obviously from like a Dr. Dre session that he's given Anderson.
Mm.
And I was just thinking, like, how's he going to use his voice?
Mhm.
And all that. But I thought it was very tasteful in the way that Nate was incorporated into this song. The way they sort of traded off at the beginning. I mean, he had a lot to work with, to be fair. He had a verse, a bridge, a hook, and then some sort of studio banter as well.
Yeah.
Which for me was the only cringy bit that he was used in, the bit at the end when they were trying to be friends and then he left. But no, I liked it, but I think, again, this is probably my least favourite instrumental of the lot.
Yeah, mine too. It's just a bit cheesy, but it's not awful. It's not awful, and I feel it does round the album off well.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think Nate Dogg was obviously a big influence to Anderson.Paak. So nice to hear them together. Nice to hear Nate Dogg again. And like you said, nice way to end the album off.
Yeah. How would you rate it?
Well, Ventura.
Yeah.
Just to add what we didn't say at the beginning, it is fourth project that's been named after a place.
Ah. So that's his thing.
Yeah, he's had the Venice,
Mhm.
Malibu,
Oxnard,
and now this. Although I'd never heard of Oxnard or
No, me neither.
Ventura.
No.
I had to actually look up that it was a place, and it was.
Yeah. It's
Anyway,
either that or it's named after Ace Ventura. But
could have been.
It's a place. No.
Well, I thought this was an interesting album, given that it was obviously a lot smoother than Oxnard, but given that it was released so long after, you can't help but having that thought lingering in your mind that it might just be a collection of B-sides. But if it is, it's a very good collection of B-sides.
I don't think it's a collection of B-sides though. It's so different in its like where it wants to go and where it sits musically. I feel it's definitely its own thing. But
I think it's far more likely that he had tons of songs, and in the end he thought that these don't really fit the Oxnard vibe as much, and that he could
maybe
release
some of them
these
were.
by themselves.
Maybe some of them were B-sides, and then he just kind of decided to build more in that vein.
Mm-hmm.
But I really think that this is a stand-up project. There's only like a few things which let it down. It really took me by surprise, and I think it's a solid 8, man. It's good shit.
I wasn't quite that in love with it, although I did. There's certainly got a lot of great songs, and songs like "Come Home" and "Yada Yada" are some of the best he's ever made.
Yeah,
but I think it's a nice 7 for me.
I was between a 7 and 8, but I decided on the 8 later. I think Anderson's.Paak is just getting better and better. I really hope. I mean, because he's able to put out some of these tracks which are like phenomenal, but then some of them are just like a bit undercooked, or like if it doesn't work, just get rid of it. Like, I really hope he can drop like a 10, and I know he can drop a 10. He needs maybe it needs like a bit more time in the music oven. I'm not sure. I guess we'll see. Or you might even see another one this year. You know, we never know.
I wouldn't bet on it, but maybe.
No. Oh yeah, no, he's touring and stuff. But yeah, keep them coming, Andy. It's good stuff.
Thanks again.
Okay, and now onto the singles. So first one's
Where
RST.
are we starting?
RST.
RST. Damn, what a good song.
Yeah, man, and a pretty cool pretty damn original song. I haven't heard anything like this. Kinda in
Really, this is pretty classic New York hip hop.
Well, I felt it had a pretty weird 70s, almost psychedelic instrumental, and it gave me these similar vibes to this. There's this 70s horror film called Suspiria. This band Goblin did the soundtrack, and it gave me similar vibes. Very kind of strange psychedelic music, and it's not too far that way. It just gave me that kind of a vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a very, very cool instrumental. appreciated the distorted vocals, and it had this strange laid back vibe, and it sits in this kind of interesting niche. It really wasn't like any track I'd heard for a good while. I mean, yeah, it feels like something like from the old school, but kind of one of the more weird niches in like 90s East Coast stuff.
Yeah, I think with the vocal sample beat especially giving that vibe. Droog's first verse, wow. Doom's verse, also wow.
Huh.
Mac Homie, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Droog finishes the song off with a very nice thing before. I don't know whether it's a sample or it's just some unreleased material, but it's a little clip of the late Sean Price as well. R.I.P.
Who was Sean Price?
Just another underground hip hop artist from New York who died like last year, I think.
That's sad.
I can't remember what of, but it doesn't really matter.
But
so you like Song?
Yeah, I do like Song, and I'm gonna be listening to more of him. Like honestly, I think it's such a cool name, man. It comes from it has to be taken from A Clockwork Orange. Like it's in Nadsat Droog. It means like friend, like buddy, like your old mate. It's pretty damn cool.
Maybe that would make sense.
Yeah, I thought that's really, really cool, man. Like,
yeah, I think you'll like Pax. It's got Danny Brown on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
God damn. Okay, it's on the list.
And a song about wanting to kill a policeman.
Okay.
Anyway, new album is out. We might give our thoughts on it next week.
Yeah, we need to decide what we're gonna do. It's a very packed week next week. We're gonna have to whittle down a lot of things, which is gonna be sad. But
indeed,
needs must.
Or maybe double upload.
Maybe the first ever like double upload that isn't a split into two halves. Out of necessity.
No, we've done one before.
Have we?
Yeah, we did Future as a separate episode.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, so
let's continue.
You like RST?
Me like. And now we're gonna talk about
what about Inside?
Inside. Ooh, it's a very cheeky song. I heard it on Radio 6. They're playing it. And okay, so it's this kind of it's more of what Steve Lacey does well. You know, all the tracks he's dropped have been this kind of lo-fi bedroom poppy kind of sexy tracks which have these jazzy guitars which and he just like raps some sexy lyrics. It's nice. But here it has this very, very nice kind of metronome style beat, and the guitar, man, it's so rich and so warm and vibrant. It's really nice, and the chords he's playing are really lovely. They have this kind of nostalgic vibe to them, and he's like romantically crooning this chorus, and it's very very nice. Yeah, and it has this kind of Odd Future sounding synth towards the end, I felt. And I was a really big fan of the EQ'd vocals, how they had this really lovely space to them and the reverb. It's really nice. It's definitely the best like single that he's dropped out of all the ones he's dropped. But it's more of the same, but better.
I thought it was a bit more repetitive than some of the other ones, and perhaps not.
I think
they're better.
They're all a bit repetitive. They're nothing totally original. Like you have ones like Deep Red.
I'm not a Deep Red
Be
fan,
With You,
personally.
Ride. They're all just. Oh, I found this nice chord progression. I'm gonna sing some lyrics about a girl on them, and it's like it's nice. It's nice. Well, I'm gonna sing lyrics about someone on them, and it's nice, but it's not like reinventing the wheel, you know. But it's nice.
I mean,
just like
the chords were nice, but I think the song was a bit too long. That was all.
I thought it was a good length. I thought it's not like I thought it's like 2.5 minutes, isn't it?
It's 4 minutes nearly.
Oh right, okay. It didn't feel like it for me, but Yeah, I mean,
But Hook, very nice.
yeah, and it has this. Yeah, it is like bedroom pop. This kind of lo-fi stuff, but it has the best production of all of the singles. I think it's a good single, man. I think
Well,
it is.
his last project was a bunch of demos. That's not fair.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think. Yeah, I'd be interested to see if he ever does drop an LP because I don't know if he's there yet. But it's not bad. It's not bad.
Well,
Apart
the
from that-
internet said on their thing that there's going to be 2 solo projects coming this year. One came out today,
Mhm.
and there's another one. Could it be Steve? Could it be Sid? Who knows?
I reckon it's Sid. I swear it's Sid, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, I have a good feeling it's gonna be Sid, man. But yeah, I'm gonna lock it in. It's Sid. But okay. Now we're gonna talk about dysfunctional. It's Kaytranada's like he dropped the Changes EP last year or single. Was it a single or an EP?
It was an EP.
EP last year, and that was kind of this lo-fi house sort of oriented thing. Dysfunctional, it's just a full-on house track, I feel,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really nice. It has this very crisp bass, and it kind of flows like liquid, man. It's really nice. It has this catchy hook, some like neo soul pop vocals. The only thing I think that lets it down is I think it's a bit too long, but if it is a house track, I mean, it's not meant to be short. But I do feel it got a bit repetitive towards it. Like I feel a house song got a bit repetitive, but I feel it should have been shorter. With the length it had, I don't know how you fix it, but I feel it was too long, man. That's the only thing I have to say about it. Like bad.
Well, I think I could fix this for you because I accidentally, forgetting that it came with instrumental as well, just cued it while I was listening to some random songs,
Mhm.
and the instrumental one played first, and I was like, "Damn, aren't the vocals meant to come in?" And they didn't because obviously it was the instrumental version,
Yeah.
and I ended up liking it more, and it was also shorter. So that's what I
Oh,
would
there we
say.
go. I haven't listened to the instrumental. I just listened to the full track, but I'll listen to the instrumental after the podcast, and I'll let you know, Tom.
I think that personally, that's the version I preferred. Not that I didn't like the Van Jess
Yeah,
feature, but I don't know if they work together that well, the male and the female singer.
I think I really I like the fact that Kaytranada's gone in this more like housey direction, and I want to hear more of it. But I really think if he's gonna do it, like they can't be too long. It's too long. This version with the vocals on it. That's the only thing that lets it down, but it does let it down quite a bit. But apart from that, the actual instrumental itself, what Kaytranada's done,
Fantastic.
stellar work. Okay, and that rounds it off for this week. A pretty light week. Next week's going to be considerably heavier. So
Potentially.
yeah. So call up your personal assistant. Call up Siri. Say cancel all my appointments. I've got to listen to the TimTom podcast. And well, I've
been Tom.
And you just listened to the TimTom podcast. How did you not know this? Ugh. Okay. We hope to see you next week. Adios.
Ciao.